Howdy y'all, I am Jody.
And I'm Justin.
And we're going to do a new type of video today. We're going to do 6 short reviews. We're going to talk about all 6 of these games and see what they're all about and see if we like them, don't like them. So I'm excited to do this one.
Yep.
So let's get started into Tranquility first. And now it's time for Tranquility to shine or not to shine. Let's just give our verdict right now.
Okay.
Shine does not shine. AKA good, bad.
Good or bad? For me, I will say that Tranquility is just that. It's tranquil. It's nice and light and easy, and not an easy game necessarily in terms of like how to win or whatever, but I think that it's easy to get into, easy to figure out how to play, and really, really light and easy to introduce people into the board gaming or card gaming kind of hobby.
I don't think it's not a hard game.
No.
I mean, it's beatable. The base game itself, we've never lost. It's pretty easy. But when you throw in all those expansions, like the Stormy Seas, different variants, then it can become a little more challenging.
True.
We definitely have had our fair share of losses. But overall, I actually really love this game.
Yeah.
I really like it. For me, it's not just good or bad. Like, it's not just good. It's a step above good for me. I really, really enjoyed this game a lot. We played this with a handful of people. We played this with my parents. They like this as well.
Mm-hmm.
They actually want their own copy. And that says something because they're not gamers.
It does.
This is, if one plays 1 to 5 players, it's a cooperative game, so I actually haven't tried the solo variant, I want to just play this cooperatively. And it's just a shorter game. The box says around 20 minutes. I feel like that's pretty fine.
But it's kind of a strange cooperative in that you can't really communicate.
Yeah, there's not really much communication. I love the way it looks. I love all the cards. I love the layout when it's out there. It just looks cool when you're trying to fill in this grid. And it has elements of the game, which is another game, where you're trying to get cards in numerical order.
Right.
So for this grid, you're starting, say we wanted to start down here, then the numbers have to ascend all the way up to the top, and the range is from 1 to 80. And so each player is...
But there's 6 rows and 6 columns, which means there's only 36 spots for cards to actually go into. So 36 spots for 80 cards. You got to figure out, what to discard and what to keep to put into those places.
Yeah. So you're just going around taking turns, playing a card out there or discarding 2 cards. Basically, you lose once somebody cannot take an action. Mm-hmm. And so you want to make sure you're not burning through cards by just discarding tons of cards, because then you're going to be toast pretty quick.
Right.
But I really, really love this game. I actually really like the package. I love this cute little box. I don't know what the deal is. I love it. And there are more variants. We have not played all of the variants. We played a handful of the expansions, but there's like some new setup. What was it? The pyramid?
Right.
Like there's different variants we haven't dabbled into yet, which I'm sure we will in the future for more variety. But this is definitely a great game, guys. Definitely check this out. This is Tranquility, published by Lucky Duck Games. Next up is Clever Cubed, sent to us by Stronghold Games. Now this is actually in that line of Gongchang Clever, That's Pretty Clever, series of roll and write games, which neither of us have actually played. But having played this, it makes me want to try those games. So maybe in the future I will give those a try, because I have a feeling I'm going to like them. They've been on my radar, I just haven't gotten around to pulling the trigger, but those are ones I definitely like to try. But Clever Cubed, what overall, yay, nay?
Overall, as a roll and write type of game, this one moves in the direction of slightly more complex, but I liked it. I think I like roll and writes, number one, and even if they go in the direction of slightly more complexity, even though usually I talk about not wanting more complexity in games, I think if it's roll and write plus a little complexity, it makes it fun for me. So, and this one gave me just a little bit of a feel of Hadrian's Wall because of the little chain reactions that would occur on your sheet that you're writing on. Now, with Hadrian's Wall, you get a chain reaction of 4, 5, 6 different things in one go. This one, maybe it was 2 or 3 things at most, but still kind of gave you that little bit of a feeling, which I really enjoyed. I'm a fan of Hadrian's Wall, by the way.
Yes. Now Hadrian's Wall is a much more complex.
Significantly.
It's an event. This is not to the same degree as Hadrian's Wall. But yes, I totally get what you're saying with that element of that little chain reaction, the combos. I liked that as well. It's like, ooh, if I put my number here, then I can fill in this spot, which, so like I love that. And I enjoyed a little more crunchy roll and write, a little more thinky. I really liked it. Some zones you put in numbers, some you're crossing out, and there's different ways to get bonuses. And like I said, there's multiple different regions. I don't remember how many. At least five,
Five or six.
something like that. And so basically,
how many colored dice are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colored dice. So five
maybe
different
five,
regions.
and then the white one is like a wild color. So basically, you're choosing your die, and then you're entering your die on your sheet, and then remaining dice are for the other players. But you're gonna be re-rolling 3 times. But what's tricky is like if on your first pick, if you want a 6, then that might be good for your sheet, but you might lose all of the other dice because after dice lower than the value that you chose all get put on the silver platter, and you don't have access to that for your two other. So you have three picks for your other re-rolls.
So you basically give your competitors all the rest of your dice to choose from. So whatever goes on the silver platter is basically up for grabs for the other players.
So we tried to start with lower numbers for our first roll, maybe upgrade a little bit for the second roll, and then you can pick whatever you want for the last roll. So that's what we tried to do. But yeah, overall, we definitely really liked this game. So Clever Cube, definitely one to check out. And now we have Crack the Code sent to us by Any Boards and Cards. This is a 1 to 4 player game, and it is a limited communication cooperative puzzle game. Now it says 1 to 4. I wouldn't try this. So I just I mean, I don't want to try cooperative games solo.
That doesn't make
I
any
just
sense.
have zero interest in trying that, so we did not try the solo mode. Each player has a set of it says marbles, but they're really not marbles. They're like bouncy balls.
They're like bouncy balls, rubbery, and they don't. They stick to each other and they don't roll.
Yeah, and so each player has these trays here, and the balls are kind of supposed to be easily moved around. They're not. They get stuck, and it's a little frustrating. Before we continue, why don't we just kind of give our overall opinion of the game?
So it just felt like it was lacking something, and we can't really put a finger on what it was. It's cool. We can put a finger on the game, but we can't put a finger on what was lacking in the game.
It needed to be marbles, not bouncy balls.
I think that's one thing for sure that would make the experience of moving the balls around a little bit better. But also, there wasn't a puzzle that we didn't solve. And I felt like every one of them, they were each a little bit different, but it started to feel a little repetitive as we were going through each of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't, like you said, I can't pinpoint. Something just felt not up to par. It just kind of, it was an okay game, but it wasn't like an amazing experience. I mean, you're working together, obviously, and you have these action cards that each player is taking turns. You can send marble, or you can send, whatever. I'll call them marbles because that's what the box says. You can send marbles to someone else. You can receive marbles. You can route other marbles around, and then as you kind of get through the game, there's some other stuff you can do. Now you can't see the marbles that you have. There is a shield, so everyone else can see what marbles you have, and you can see what other people have. And everybody is trying to get the marbles in their tray to match what's on their shield, which is a card that shows the configuration of colors, the sequence of what you need to have to win.
The code.
The code, yes. Now this game does have, I don't know if it's like a little campaign that you can kind of play through, and there are little envelopes where you can open up stuff, and boxes where you can get other things out as you play. It was okay. I mean, it's not one I'm jumping up to recommend. I mean, if you have it, give it a try, but
there was also a little confusion as to what constituted communication in certain instances.
Yeah. There was a couple things that were a little in the gray area of trying to figure out the rules and stuff, but not our favorite game. So we're probably gonna end up passing on this one. We're not gonna keep this. We actually played a fair amount of the different modules that you could play. That kind of where the rules change and such. But I think we are done with this game. That is Crack the Code.
Up next we have Tokyo Highway, and so this is a cool little dexterity game that I was actually a pretty big fan of. So I really enjoyed this game. Basically, it's a bunch of popsicle sticks on
Glorified popsicle
on
sticks.
little blocks, and you're trying to build bridges and roadways and stuff like that, which are going over and under and through and all sorts of stuff. And it basically looks like a crazy highway system that is highly unstable. You're trying to gain points and put your vehicles on there, and I think ultimately you're trying to get all of your vehicles out before anybody else.
You're trying to get all your cute little tiny cars out there, and you're basically trying to build roads above others or build roads underneath to put out X amount of cars depending on some of the rules. And yes, the game comes with tweezers and glorified popsicle sticks, and you have these random building pieces, and these where you're going to be putting your sticks on, and it is a fun dexterity game. We really haven't had a whole lot of dexterity games, but we recently have acquired some, and a couple of them are actually going to be in this video. And number one, and we've thoroughly enjoyed this game, and people we played this with have enjoyed it as well. And it looks so cool when you're done. I mean, when you're done, you have all of these different routes and these different different highs, because I mean you can get high in this game, and it's gorgeous to look at when it's done. And then we have our own personal house rule where whenever you're done with the game, you have to create an earthquake, and you shake the table and everything just collapses. So that is a personal house rule we have, is there must be an earthquake at the end of every of these games.
Very important.
You really, really like this game, or is it just...
I'm a big fan of this. I think I, in general, will become a big fan of dexterity games just overall. I played... What was the other one? Men at Work?
I actually didn't play that one.
You didn't play that one? I liked that one. That one's a lot of fun. I played this one.
Which one do you like better out of those two?
I would have to play the other one again to remember. It's been a while. But I really, really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah. This is definitely a great one. Definitely check this out. I happened to get a good deal. This was on sale on Miniature Market whenever I placed an order. I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to try this, so I got it, and we highly recommend this one. Everyone has had a blast playing this one.
Yeah.
That is Tokyo Highway. Trails. Picked this up on Black Friday. Got it for $10. I've been wanting to try this because we have both played Parks and both like it. We love the aesthetic. We love the pictures. We just love parks. We like going hiking ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so the theme of this line of games we absolutely love. So I wanted to try Trails, a little smaller production. It's supposed to be a little bit lighter, but it's a standalone game. So we got it, played it, and we both really like this game. A lot. I am so excited about this one. I've never been huge into smaller box games, but this one, I know you are. But this one, I was really wanting to seek out to try. And I am really glad we did, and this is going to stay in our collection. This is published by Keymaster Games, or Keymaster, I think is the name. So this has elements of Parks, but it's different. So you have these tiles as you're hiking back and forth from the trailhead to trail end. And on each tile, you take different actions, and the resources are, so we got acorns, leaves, and rocks, and you're basically just trying to collect stuff to earn badges, because the badges you turn in, a certain amount of resources of certain types to get badges, and those will give you points. But there's also other things you can do on your hike. You can take photos to get points, and there's little birds on those photo cards, and whoever has the most birds at the end gets some
bird watching, I guess
yeah,
is what you're calling it.
Yeah, so there's different ways to score points, but you're just going back and forth, and then the sun is going to be slowly setting, mm-hmm. And I really like that. I love it. I think it's just really cute thematic element there, where as the sun sets, you flip the tile over to the night scene. So you might be hiking along, it's day tiles, and you get to the night tiles, but every time the sun moves, it flips over to the night tile. I just really enjoyed everything about this game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. And it, as you go through the game and day turns to night, as you flip those tiles over, the resources that you get when you land on those tiles also upgrade. So if you were able to receive an acorn on one of them, during the daytime. When you're coming back during the nighttime, you know, I don't
Was
know
it
how,
two?
I don't know how
I think
I don't
it
know
was
how
just two.
thematic that is, but you get more as you go later into the game. So you'll end up getting 2 acorns or something like that. That's kind of how they were going, or it costs less or something for something. So.
Yeah, I really love the production of this. I think this is an excellent game. Honestly, so I played Parks before, and I like the game, but for some reason I never desired to own it. And I'm not 100% sure. Like, I enjoyed the game, but it wasn't like, oh, I want this in our collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think I would rather play this than Parks. I just like the more slimmed down version of this, which is weird because typically I like the bigger productions, more bling, etc. But I really like this one. This is one where I might have to get little upgrades and get like cute little acorns instead of just cubes and leaves and rocks.
Because you like all the blingy.
Yeah, but it's so cute. And just having a few little acorns on the table, that'd be so cute. Anyway, I love this game, and you do too, right?
I'm a big fan.
So definitely check out Trails. And for the last game, Jumby wanted to jump up here and hang out. So she's claimed her cute little Kallax cubby. So for the last game, Junk Art, for those of you who have watched some of the videos, you know that I have been crushing on this game. Because I have looked for it for years, and the version with the wooden pieces, and I have not been able to find it with the wooden pieces, or it was too expensive. I don't know if I was looking in the wrong places, but I showed up at Mega Gaming one day, and it was there with multiple copies. So I don't know if Asmodee was starting to reprint the wooden piece one. All I know is I'm so excited. I have been wanting to try this forever, and I finally have, and I love this game.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of this game as well. Another dexterity game, another thing where we can kind of stack and build and things like that, and try not to let things fall, but when they do, it's so much fun. And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of Junk Art as well. It has been really fun when we have played it, for sure.
Yeah, and so the premise of this is you are a junk artist and you're touring the world, making all kinds of weird junk looking art displays.
Yep.
And so this game has lots of different strange shaped wooden pieces. And you'd be surprised about how much you can actually stack. And everyone starts off with this small little plastic base, like really, really small, really tiny,
maybe an inch and a half
really
by
tiny.
an inch and a half.
And you'd be surprised at everything you can build off of it. It's been a blast seeing what you build, and it's actually really pretty when you're done, when the game's over, to see what each person has built. It's actually really pretty because one, you know, all the different shapes and such, they're odd shapes, but two, all the pieces, there's a plenty of beautiful color in this game. And you got green, orange, blue, gray, and a little pinky barbell. But yeah, so there are tons of wonky shapes with different grooves, and yeah, and there are a bunch of different ways, different tours in this game. So you visit different cities, and each city kind of has like their own objective. For instance, you maybe build the tallest structure. You know, each city has a different thing to do. Mm-hmm. And so there's a variety, and there's fun. It's just a lot of fun. And this is what typically you build off of, this little tiny base.
Maybe an inch and a half by an inch and a half, maybe.
Yeah. So overall, this has been fun. We played this with quite a few people. Everyone has had a great time playing with this game. We highly recommend this game if you're able to find it. It has been a blast, for sure.
For sure.
Yep. And so that is Junk Art. That is 6 quick reviews. And for those of you who are interested in Tranquility a little bit more, we actually have played or done a playthrough on our channel. So you can kind of get an idea of how the game works and whether or not we won or lost that game. I won't spoil that for you. So yeah, definitely check it out. We'll leave a description or a link in the description for the playthrough video that you can check this game out. But guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. And Josie wanted to come say hi. Let's get her to wave. Hi guys. Oh. Mm-hmm. But it's actually 24 minutes past their dinner, and she's actually not begging too much. But if we say the magic word in the house, which happens to be FOOD, the cats get really excited. and run into their food bowls.
So here we go.
All right. Girls, you want some food? You want some food? Here comes Jumpy running through. All right, let's go get food.
Come on.
Ask Daddy. He's going to go feed you.
Let's go.
Yeah.